Eyes on the highway, the load's heavy. Even the highway camel drags on. The baggage locus, not anymore. Even the driver's seat is shared. But most eye-catching is a community suffering from its benevolence, a mining company polluting it. Every plant bearing the brunt, rooftops appearing dark with the members of the community expressing fear.
More on the move with curiosity meets delight. With every episode, our hearts take flight. Exploring nature, information, and tourism too. Join us on this adventure just for you.
If I wake up in the morning, you see your nose very black, and when you cough or when you move it, you can see it black. Yes, the thing is affecting us, but we don't know what will happen for the next few years or come now. Whether something will happen.
More on the move where curiosity meets delight. With every episode, our hearts take flight. Exploring nature, information, and tourism too. Join us on this adventure just for you.
Riding further, the tougher gridlock, a thing of the past. Trucks utilizing authorized parking lot. Driving one way becomes the trend. Pockets of activities signaling work in progress in some part of the highway. Close to 400 kilometers of highway with its ups and downs conquered. At the end of it, a bustling city, a city that prides itself ahead of every other city. But there is something unique about this city, its culture, heritage, and history. And that's exactly what we want to discover about this city this time around. Come with me. To the roots of the history of the city, we headed to a place which accommodates what is believed to be the starting point, Dala Hill. A hill bearing the brunt of climate change, but taking a pride of place in the annals of history.
The history of Kano will never complete without mentioning Dala Hill. It was the foundation of the economic and political system of Kano. It was where people started to live, few of them. Like the Dala. That Dala you are hearing was nicknamed after a hunter who was beside Dala Hill. Whatever you hunt from nearby bush, you come under Dala Hill or nearby Dala Hill, eat it. So the people of that time nicknamed the place of Dala Hill.
From Dala, the majestic palace of the Emir of Kano, imposing its magnitude. From every nooks and cranny, the architectural wonders of northern Nigeria adorns.
More on the move, documentary gold. From human interest to culture in every frame. Journey with us as we explore and proclaim.
What lurks around the walls and roofs of the palace, a chronicle of those who held sway and the breathtaking civil engineering of the greatest builders in the class of Babad Angwani.
This palace you are seeing the present location of the Emir of Kano at Kofar Kudu is not the early resident of the emirs in Kano. The early resident of emirs or kings of Kano between the 11th century up to the time of Muhammad Rumfa was inside the city, north of Kulmi Market, where Madabo Ward, the resident of scholars that introduced Islam, was located. That's where the early residence, the early palace of the Hausa rulers was located.
Exploring nature, information, and tourism too. Join us on this adventure just for you.
But just when the thrilling encounter with the majestic palace lasts, the drums and trumpets began to fill the air with a rhythm only for the kings. A mini Durbar taken center stage. The horses like the great warriors Barbushe, Ibrahim Dabo and Aliu Babba, who fiercely stood against the colonial invaders.
When the Queen paid a courtesy visit during the colonial masters to the Kano Emirate, it was there Emir conducted a kind of Daba in respect of that Emir, of that Queen. So, since from that time, it has become a culture of this Emirate that if there is any very important person or any very important dignity who visited the Kano and visited the Emir, normally prepared a doba for him.
Though the city has grown far beyond the confines of its old wall, the ruins of the wall tells a story of an enduring legacy spanning centuries.
Kano City Wall is a military architectural structure constructed in 1093 during the reign of Sarkin Kano Gijimasu, Danwarisi, Dambagauda. It is a 24 square kilometer radius surrounded with 13 gates, but turned out to be 15 due to urbanization process. That is what we call the city wall ditch. They call it Golalo in Hausa. It is 20 feet away from the walls. That is where they collect the sand in making up the walls. So it gets to provide a heavy ditch that came about to be filled up with water with time. And that same city wall ditch is being filled up with alligators. Within the city walls, there's what we call the ashri or the observatory windows, through where ashes stay to fight against any foreign invasion coming towards them. So with that, if you try to encroach, the ashes will definitely shoot you down. You now fall into the ditch and serve as a meal to the alligators.
It's one of the amazing technical expertise of people in Kano over 1,000 years ago. It was built of mud, and parts of it is still standing after over 100 years without renovation. I think the recent renovation of a part of it was done with the German assistance, sometimes in 1999. But before 1999, for over 100 years, since the early colonial periods, there was no attempt to renovate the Kano Wall. But still, it hadn't gone to use. Even now, some of the areas that were ruined were not of the failure of the structure to endure, but because of the attempt of people to break it and illegally construct resident houses, which government now is trying to fight.
What we're doing today in Kano is one of the primary functions of the National Council of Arts and Culture. We're established to preserve and promote all aspects of our culture, nationally and internationally. And part of what we're doing today, what we did at the Sabor Kofa, is part of the preservation of our heritage. The Kano City Walls are part of our heritage. The Kano people cherish the Kano City Wall because it was established initially to defend the whole city. It's a defense mechanism for the people of Kano, and there's the need over the years to preserve it. And as you can see, some parts of it has been destroyed, But the government is making efforts to restore what we have, to at least protect what we have, and restore the one that we're about to lose.
If this world conserves a technique that survives the threat of different kind of disasters over centuries, then the next generation must learn to sustain it.
See the beauty of diversity, stories untold. A journey so bold from the heart of humanity to nature's grandeur. Every moment captured, an experience to savor. On the move where curiosity meets delight.
The city gates have always served as security, but their names also remain significant. Kofarmata, key in the chronology of the city gates, but most importantly, it still retains a cluster of the oldest dye pits, which places Kano among the oldest textile hub.
Kofarmata dye pit was established in 1498, and it is one of the most oldest dye pit that is existing within Kano metropolis, and is still existing. Though there are others outskirts, but this one is still existing within the metropolis, is the one that is still practicing. Though the place have witnessed a series of deterioration due to modernization process, the pits are not exactly as they were in the early times due to urbanization processes. Some pits have gone actually. This place is referred to West African Hospital because most of the implements used in dyeing are all made from natural substances. So the fermentation of the water as a result of dyeing, they use it to cure various diseases like skin disease, and also find it easy for women when giving birth. It's like it helps in burning fat actually from them. Though the custodians normally give their wives whenever they are about giving marriage. But honestly, it is one of the best skin disease medicines I've ever known traditionally.
It is debatable, but the local tanneries in Kano produces the most sought-after leather across global markets. Though there are huge factories here, the business of leather works done the old ways have been preserved, and the end products are top-notch. The history of its trade on the ropes of the trans-Saharan route stands the test of time, and Kurmi market still bears the fruits. Each of the shops a bank of antiquity, and the history of exchange here leaves the market struggling to hit the skies.
Kurmi market, one of the oldest in Kano. And when this old man speaks, he speaks volume of Islamic books like this one in these shops, and much more of the history of the people that once trade in this market.
The trans-Saharan trade route reached its peak in around the 4th century. And in that same period, the 4th century, people knew about Kurmi market because the Kurmi market was the last quarter to the trans-Saharan trade routes. Whatever you have grabbed within your ornamental luxuries, the moment you reach the Kurmi market, you just have to go back. That is the last quarter of it from the Maghreb to the north, to the west, as you can see. But though it started with a Kwasi settlement till before the 15th century, there wasn't shops, but demarcations on where people keep their things. In Hausa, they call it Burun Kasakaya. So it's those things that they have within that time. Whenever the market is off, you have to pack your things and go home with them. Then you bring them back. And that is what makes it very close to houses.
because people now began to have houses within the market and surrounded the market with their houses, because you don't have to be carrying your goods far away from your house to the market. You understand? There were no provisions for doors as of then, and there were no provision, only temporary roofings for you to prevent yourself from sun. But with the advent of Muhammad Rumfa, when he became a king in 1463, these are one of the most tangible works he did for Kano. The first was the construction of Gidan Rumfa, that is the present Emir Palace. And the second was the construction of shops in Kurmi Market, which we just visited, one among the most oldest shops which has been existing here.
But another imposing civil engineering wonders of Kano lies on the walls of Gidan Dang Hausa. The walls tell a story of the prowess of the hands that creates the contours of the house Dang Hausa once lived. But again, the house keeps a record that can only be told by the custodians of history.
Its history is rooted back to the time of colonial masters, when Hans Bischer, a colonial educationist, established the first Western educational school here in Kano in 1907 to 1909. Because he was well versed in Hausa, that was why people were referring him to as Dang Hausa, like Yaji Hausa Sosai. Yeah, so ever since the building, this very building we are having interview in front of, continues to be an important state monument, and up to now it houses the headquarters of the History and Culture Bureau with the State Museum inside.
Resting the pen while inscribing the heritage of the people of Kano would be like abandoning a critical part of history. The history of Gidan Makama is like the icing on the cake. The architecture amazing, but most amazing are the artifacts being preserved.
Gidan Makama, as you can see, it is a 15th century building that was built in 1440 by Abdullah Abuja, who eventually gave it to his grandson, Muhammad Rumfa. It reflects the architectural designs of the Hausa people. It is quite deep, because if you look at all the designs that are here, the building has been able to retain it with consistent maintenance of the building, because this building is almost 700 years now. It is historical to the people. It remains one of the old buildings around here. Apart from being a royal home, it was home to the British too. When they were able to conquer Kano, they make this very particular building their administrative office. So while they were living, they decided to share the house into three. They left there's a part of it that they have given to primary school board. It is presently the Gidan Makama Primary School. There's also part of it that retained the name Makama House. It is House of Nobility. Then this is the last part that was given to them. We call it the Antiquities Department.
Rounding off the move to set on a new pedestal the heritage and culture of the descendant of Dabo, the microphone was directed to the architect of the World Heritage Volunteers Program and her lieutenant.
The World Heritage Volunteers Program is a program that was flagged off by UNESCO in 2008 in terms of protection and promotion of World Heritage sites, and also to involve the young ones in the promotion and protection of these sites. AFIDEF keyed into this program in 2021 with the silvicultural landscape, in terms of restoring the silvicultural landscape in 2021. And the aim of this project is to see how we can digitalize these sites, document the site, and come together as partners, as organizations, and as governments of Kano State to see what we can do in terms of elevating all these sites to the World Heritage status. The essence of this program is huge. It's for us to see that these sites are documented for the future generation. That is why we chose the theme for the 2025, preserving the legacy of the ancient Kano city as a historic site for future generation. So that is a theme. And also for the global theme for this program by UNESCO is working on the future. Of course, we're still working on the future. You can see that in the future, we're still working on it. And this is it's not something we for a day or two. It's something that we keep working on it. For AFIDEF and for all the partners organizations that are with us here, they have given them their support and their commitment in seeing that most of these sites that we have, not just for Kano, not just for the Shaka that we're involved, not just for Adamawa, but the sites in Nigeria or even beyond Nigeria is being preserved for future generations to come and see the history that we have. This is just a flag of this program. It's beyond just having the World Heritage Volunteer Program in Kano. But for us, is to see that Kano is up there, not just as a commercial hub in this country, but also as a cultural tourism hub for this country. Because I see a new beginning when it comes to culture for Kano. The Commissioner for Arts and Culture in Kano has been exceptional.
Our interaction with the government, with the traditional council, it has been very, very positive. Our volunteers have been fantastic. They have been so eager to learn. Most of them came with a different mindset about how it was in the north or how it is in the north. But you find that within just a couple of days that we have spent in Kano, most of these mindsets that they came with have been seriously eroded and replaced with nothing but positive about North now. They have eaten the local delicacies in Kano. They have taken the local drinks that they produce in Kano. They have bought local fabrics in Kano. Most of them are even eager to learn how to speak Hausa. And quite frankly, as an organization, we can only say that Kano has tried. And with the kind of commitment that we have seen so far in Kano, I don't think it will take us a long time to achieve that which we came to achieve here.
Nigeria is a country in Africa that has to take the lead in its historical artifacts so that we can show who we are. And because of that, and now that we are now in Mariam Abacha American University, and this year UNESCO selected Kano State, so with AFID team, they are not new to us, so we just renewed our partnership, and then we are providing the basic support we are doing. So we understand that this is very important to the people. It is not only important to the people, it's important to Africa. We need to do this so that generations yet unborn will know that we have not thrown away what belongs to them and what defines them as a people.
Preserving the culture for the future generation is surely on course. Everyone plays his card, and within the city center of Kano, an art gallery doing its own thing.
Hero Heart of Art initiative was founded by Hajia Kaltimi Blamagana. It started after the Boko Haram crisis in the year 2018. She felt as an artist, art would play an important role in the lives of these victims, especially children. As you can see, we have some paintings that shows tragedy, sorrows, and all that. So we also run a skill acquisition program to help enhance youths and creative minds, enhance and bring out their creative skills. We showcase different forms of art like visual arts, calligraphy, resin art, fabric painting. So they all bring their works here to showcase their own talents. As you can see behind me here is my work as a fabric artwork. We had this exhibition on desertification, so this is my way of showcasing desertification. As you can see, the fabric color showcases sand, the cracks showcase drought, and the branches dead trees. So to me, that's my way of showcasing desertification. This is an art gallery that is open for everyone with a creative mind, creative skills. So if you discover that you have an artistic talent, don't just keep it to yourself, bring it out and show it to the world, because art can take you to so many places and you can be anybody you want to be with artwork. So a place like here, Hero Heart of Art Initiative, we promote, we encourage creative minds to enhance their skills, their artistic skills.
But for more on the Move crew, as the streets of Kano Like most cities in northern Nigeria, bustling with rising investment and huge opportunities, especially in agriculture, but an ugly trend. A trend that needs swift attention and action.
Go on the move, a journey so bold from the heart of humanity to nature's grandeur. Every moment captured, an experience to savor. Go on the move where curiosity meets delight. With every episode, our hearts take flight. Exploring nature, information, and tourism too. Join us on this adventure just for you. So tune in now, don't let this chance pass. Go on the move, an adventure so fast.